pretty healthy other than 2 years ago I had a pain in my stomach that wouldn't go away, and I tried everything. It would come and it would go, and then it got more frequent as time went on, so they started testing me to see what was wrong. They figured out that my gallbladder, they said, wasn't draining correctly, so they took my gallbladder out. And 2 months after I had my gallbladder out, I still got the pain, the horrific pain. So I went back to my surgeon and said, you know, what's going on here? And he thought maybe I had it was because my gallbladder was gone and my body was creating too much bile, and that was going to just take some time to my body to get used to not having a gallbladder. Well, a couple months later, I again had the attack, so I started going to a specialist. He referred me to a specialist, a gastroenterologist, and they started doing some tests on me and couldn't figure out what was wrong. So they sent me to Seattle, and I went to see Dr. Kozarek, who is world-renowned for this CRPC test that they do. They send a scope down your throat, and it stretches your sphincter muscle. And the first time I went, I entered into a study. He asked me if we wanted to do a study because there are so many patients with this kind of condition, and they've started trying to find out what kind of medication works and what procedures work and what don't. And so I agreed to do that. And in the procedure, you are put into 3 categories. You're either in a placebo group, or they do 1 slit on your sphincter muscle, or they do 2. The drawback is you don't know what they've done. So he went down, he did whatever he did. I'm not sure still today what he did, but 3-4 months later, the pain came back. So I contacted him again. He had me come to Seattle again. He went down with a 10-foot scope this time, thinking that maybe there was a blockage somewhere or something, so he checked that out. This time he told me exactly what he was doing. He made 2 cuts on the sphincter muscle so that it would enlarge, and about 3 months later I had another attack. And so I called him. He's like, I really don't know what's wrong. I'm not sure. Obviously the things we didn't work. Let's have you do a colonoscopy. So he did the colonoscopy. He didn't do it. I had the colonoscopy done in Boise, and they went up and they found some thickening of my small intestine walls, and there were some sores on my small intestines that the gastroenterologist told my husband were a sign of Crohn's disease. And so they wanted to treat my Crohn's by medication. And my mom and dad have known Dr. West for years. And she said, you know, before you try that medication, why don't we go see Dr. West, see what he can do for you? And at that point, I was so tired of going to doctors, I said, you know what do I have to lose? So I went ahead and came up here. It'll be a year this December, and I've had a couple of attacks, but for the most part, my attacks are gone. He treats me with the IV treatments, and then I have done a couple of the new things that he has going, the oxonate and the HCT. And I seem to be feeling better. I take the standard processed vitamins that they ask that I take, and I'm going to start coming once a month now because it seems like my body needs that treatment to make it better, and I feel 100 times better. I feel better now than I have felt before my surgery with my gallbladder, and I can't thank them enough. They've been great.
It seems like most people getting treated here have been through some sort of war.
Right.
I mean, they're beat down by the time they get here. They've
Right.
been through all these options. Why is it that this is our last option? And I know next time it'll be your first option.
Right.
But what is it about human nature and the way we're raised, grown up, how whatever, that makes this world, I don't know, almost taboo?
It's because I think that's what the medical doctors make you believe. Come to the doctor, I'll give you something to make you feel better. And that's part of the reason that I wasn't going to take the Crohn's medicine, because I don't feel that they really know that's what I have. I think that they put me in a category to shut me up, and if the medicine works, then their diagnosis must be right. When I came to the West Clinic, I asked both Dr. Henry and Dr. Jason, do I have Crohn's? And neither one of them would tell me that I had Crohn's. They said, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just going to treat you and make the cause go away, therefore you won't have the symptoms. And I trusted in them, and that's exactly what they've done.
So in essence, they didn't treat Crohn's disease, they treated your body.
That's right. They did not treat my Crohn's disease, and neither one of them would tell me whether or not I had Crohn's or not.
Yeah. Any other burning desires? It's a good story.
No, I would refer them to anybody. I work for a law firm. My boss was having knee problems. I sent her down here. She's lived in Pocatello. She's a nurse and an attorney, and she came down on my recommendation. Dr. J gave her the Prolozone shots in the knees, and it helped her out. And I would refer them to anybody before they go through the medical route that I had to go through. I have insurance, but it cost a lot of money, and nothing helped. So this is the only thing that's helped, and I would refer them to anybody.